What is good with y'all, man? So EA today dropped the first Gridiron patch notes for Madden 23. Basically, the changes they're going to be making from the Madden 23 beta to when the game actually drops. So this is pretty big news. It looks like it's a lot. I haven't read any of this yet. So hopefully it's like they're not messing things up and they're actually, fixing things. So let's go ahead and get into this and see what they're talking about. Don't drastically change game, leave, coverage, reaction time alone. The dev note, they said the #1 feedback topic we received, rest assured Madden community, our vision game balance is consistent with yours and the gameplay you experience in the closed beta is what you'll be playing on launch day. I'll be honest, that's good because that's the biggest thing. We didn't want them to change a whole lot because the gameplay was actually good. There has been a polish added and bugs fixed from the players' feedback to make it even better, but the overall experience will be as you played in the closed beta. All right, that's good. If we're playing if I get to play what I played in the closed beta, this is probably going to be gameplay-wise the best Madden that I've played yet. Personally, like I said, out of the ones I played, I've only played 18. Ultimate Team-wise, I've only played 18, 20, 21, 22, and I guess 23 now. So hey, as long as they're staying true to their word, I don't know how much we can really believe them because these guys are notorious liars. So we'll just have to wait and see. Add referees back to the game on the field. Honestly, you know what's crazy? I never even, until I just read that right now, I honest to God never even realized there was never referees on the field. I never honestly even realized that. That's crazy. Let's see what they have to say. They say, while referees returning to the field during live gameplay is not something we will be able to deliver in Madden 23. It is something that we want to get as badly as our players. We want to make sure that when refs do return, they return in a state where visual quality is on par with the rest of the characters on the field. Refs is very high on. Alright, so they said on their roadmap. I don't really know what that means, but I think of a roadmap, I think of like for a game that has like, like seasonal content throughout the year. So I don't know, maybe they're dropping refs later in the year. Honestly, me personally, look, just get the gameplay right and all the other stuff, and then if you want to go ahead and add refs, cool. Yeah, it would be cool to have refs, but you know what I mean? I'm not crying over that, but that's cool, I guess. Player awareness. Too easy to run the same plays over and over again. Alright, before I even read that right there, in my opinion, right, if you complain about somebody running the same play over and over, and you allow them to run the same play over and over without making the adjustments, that is your fault. That's your fault. Don't blame that on your players. You're the coach. You're supposed to make the adjustments to stop the play. You know what he's going to run, so you stop the play. So, I ain't gonna lie. In my opinion, hopefully, I don't know. I think they should just left this one alone. This is probably some bum that just said this one. They said, we've made a number of changes since the closed beta to bring more balance to gameplay. We believe these changes will bring more variety to play calling, but we want to hear from you, our community, when the game launches to let us know how you feel about these changes. Each of these implemented changes may be further turned via EA Madden. Okay, so they said logic added so that when defensive backs are playing in linebacker positions, they will have slower reaction time to the running game. Here's the thing, right? The biggest reason why we use safeties at linebackers is because linebackers don't jump unless you put lurker on them. We have to waste AP to get a linebacker to jump, and plus safeties are faster and they play the run game as good. Now, honestly, in my opinion, I thought I noticed that a little bit in the beta. I thought safeties just didn't play the run game as good. I mean, you can still make plays with them, but now they're saying in the run game the safeties are going to even have a slow reaction time. Now, we'll see how much, we'll really see how much of a slow reaction time they really have, but you know what I mean? That could be big. It's just like the problem was before, right? When linebackers did jump, they used to jump like they're jumping out of a jet. They jumped high as shit. It's like, I don't know why they can't just make a normal bounce for the linebackers to jump. Like, at the end of the day, this is all their fault. This is not our fault. We want to use linebackers. I don't think they understand. We want to use linebackers. It's just that y'all make it impossible to use them. The ability to hot route tight ends to a pass block assignment when in a 2-point wide receiver stance. Okay, I got that. So I think basically, so let's say you came out in like gun empty, but like the tight end is in like a kind of like a wide receiver. Okay, so for example, bunch. Let's say you came out in bunch, right? You know how you're able to pass block that tight end? Basically in bunch now, you won't be able to pass block that tight end, which, I mean, I guess realistically, how that would work in the NFL is if, let's say, you came out in bunch, technically no tight end would kind of sit back and actually pass block. If anything, what he would do, he would chip the end and then run his route. So I guess that kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't really run bunch. You know what I mean? I run 2 tight end offense. So look, my boys are going to be able to pass block, period. Adjusted the corner route in bunch formation and the corner hot route and the hot route master and slider principles to align with the other corner routes throughout the playbooks. Okay, so I guess there's only one kind of corner route, I'm assuming now. Yeah, okay. Made improvements to man coverage, pre-snap alignment versus bunch formations. Made improvements to man coverage, pre-snap alignments. What I wish they kind of said what improvements they made. They're kind of just saying improvements. I didn't really realize there was a problem with. Was there a problem with man coverage alignments versus bunch? I didn't know. Apparently there was. They made improvements though, so I guess that's good. Pulling linemen are too slow or too indecisive. I feel like that's something that's kind of like sometimes, like I have runs where I have guys pulling, right? Man 22. Like sometimes they'll go out, they'll make their block, great play. Sometimes they're kind of standing around, they got the guy in front of them, they don't know what to do, they start panicking, they don't block him. It was like that in Madden 23 as well. So let's see what this is actually something for me. This is big because I have a lot of runs where, well, obviously my offense might be a lot different this year because looking at these, the Madden 23 playbooks, they're very basic. They're very basic. I know they weren't totally finished, but they're not adding a whole lot to them. And from the looks of it, it looks like I might have to move to single back. So I don't know how many runs I'm going to have where guys are going to be pulling, but we'll see. Obviously, when the game comes out, I'll figure out what playbook and all I'm running, but let's see what they had to say this. Basically, they say, tuning and AI changes were made to make pulling linemen be more explosive through the line of scrimmage, and on top of the foundational improvements, you'll have to keep an eye on the speed rating on the pull lineman, as slower lines force you to lay off. Social mechanic, while you navigate faster lines will get quicker light. Okay, so I'll be honest. Basically, they just ignored everything this guy said. Yeah, obviously some linemen are slow as shit and you got to wait for them to make the block. What he's saying is sometimes the linemen are too indecisive. Which what he means by this, when they get into the second level, they'll have a guy right in front of them, a linebacker safety, and they won't block him. They'll just kind of stand there and just look around, like they won't block him. That's what he means by indecisive. They just completely ignored that whole part and just said, hey, you're messing up. You need to lay off your excel and wait for him to make the block. Like sometimes you're waiting for him to make the block and he's not making the block. Like, so basically, they just ignored what he said. So that's kind of crazy. Pass blocking isn't strong enough. Too many insta sheds. Okay, I'll be honest, the pass rush is kind of crazy. This would be interesting what they have to say about this. Let's see. As noted in the closed beta gridiron notes, there was a bug causing super wins to trigger too frequently early in the closed beta, which was a primary contributor to the overpowered feeling. Looking at overall defensive gameplay, having a powerful pass rush is critical to balance the game, and the pass rush at launch is still going to be more powerful. It's going to be more, okay, all right, so they didn't really say they're toning it down. So I mean, so basically we're still gonna have the pass rush is still gonna be really good, which is good in my opinion because, you know what I mean? Yeah. User interceptions aren't always responsive. I'll be honest, I don't even know what that. I don't really even know what this guy means by that, but we'll see. Tuning to catch animations to increase range for jumping interceptions. Okay. Honestly, I didn't really see a problem with that, but all right. Tuning to significantly decrease situations where the player is requesting to play ball without seeing the corresponding animation response. Okay, so they're making it even easier to pick balls off. Well, they should be, which is good. That is also good, even though honestly in the beta I didn't really have a big problem with that, but it's even better now. So that's good. That's another positive. Man coverage fake outs are too frequent. See, I barely ran man coverage in the beta, and I know they were supposed to have like these new things where like, you know, receivers do like these fake outs or like these like, I don't know, like actually like real life moves on guys. I honestly barely ran man coverage in the beta, so I can't even speak on it. I'm just not a big man coverage guy. So tuning to significantly reduce the frequency of fake outs by man coverage defenders. Added new logic so the fake outs could be used in super win situations where the ratings delta and heavily of the wide receiver. Okay, so they just basically toned it down a little bit, that's all. Too many fumbles. I'll say this. You do fumble the ball in the beta or Madden 23, but it's not to a point where I say it's too many. I wouldn't say too many fumbles, and I ran the ball a lot, okay? First of all, so I think, honestly, I thought it was the right amount. Fumbles, should they come back? Well, I can't even say the quarterbacks really fumbled. I would just say, honestly, quarterbacks, they need to come back fumbling. But I didn't think it was too crazy. I don't know. Tuning to significantly reduce fumble chance of QB inside. Okay, I'll say this. When the quarterback gets hit inside the pocket, it should be a very rare chance to fumble that ball. Honestly to God, in Madden 22, I fumbled the ball with my QB more inside the pocket than I did outside the pocket. It makes no sense. Like, it really doesn't. Tuning to significantly reduce fumble chance on QB hits while in the early portion of the throw. Okay, so I guess is it all with the quarterback? Is just all with the QB? Tuning to reduce fumbles by non-QB ball carriers on hit sticks and strip ball attempts. Okay, so basically it's back to Madden 22. It sounds like, well, not the game, but like the fumbling thing, like, you know, the rate you would fumble at 22. It sounds like they just kind of reverted it back to that, which is like, you know what I mean? You guys remember Madden 20, like, these guys are fumbling the ball. Now, I'm not saying I wanted to be crazy like that, but I thought the beta had it, you know, pretty decent at least. It looked pretty decent. Significant reduction to punch out fumbles by AI curl. Okay, I'll say this, yes. The little punch out thing, that thing did happen to me a couple times, and I feel like the AI, unless you have that thing on like aggressive or something, honestly, I just don't think the AI should be doing it. I think that should be a user thing when they punch that thing out. So that's pretty good. But I guess, yeah, basically they just reduced fumbling. It's probably back to how it was in 22. Not enough hit stick variety. What does that even mean? I'll be honest, what does that even mean? Not enough hit stick variety. 27 new hit stick animations have been added for launch. Holy shit. You know what's crazy? It's 27 of them, but you'll probably only see like 2 or 3. It's just how it is. Most of the existing animations have been updated to make them look or behave differently. Alright. Wide receivers should win more contested catches and mismatches. What? I'll be honest. In that game, like, wide receivers could still moss you. I've seen it happen. Oh, God. Tuning to increase catch success for wide receivers in contested catch situations when in a mismatch. Great. So now let's say I got little Avonte Maddox out there and he's got Julio Jones on him. He's guaranteed to get mossed apparently. Hopefully this is like, are we like factoring deep out elite? Because like deep out elite, okay. Like, you know what I mean? Logic added to include wide receiver physical attributes such as height to play a more significant role. All right, so basically, I don't know. I don't want to see like the crazy mossing how it was this year. Even though there was really just Stevies and guys mossed you, but I don't know how I feel about this one. We'll see, we'll see. Skill-based passing can be difficult to understand. All right, basically skill-based passing, if you don't know what it is, it's one of the biggest features they added for Madden 23. It's the free-form passing where basically you can throw the ball wherever you want. I tried it out. I tried to get used to it. I just don't think it's something I'm going to be able to use. And really, honest to God, like if you have, let's say on your remote, if you have stick drift, I don't think you're gonna be able to use that shit because like you have to like gently tap the like stick when you're, it's just, I just don't think it's something I could personally use. Let's see what they had to say. They say, even though it was not in the closed beta, when you first turn on the game at launch, you will have the opportunity to play through an onboarding flow to learn more about the new passing system. You will also have the opportunity to lab deeper in practice mode. And lastly, additional work has been done on the game and feedback systems to make it even more user-friendly, such as color coding the feedback text and passing reticle to match the level of accuracy. Be on the lookout for more developer deep dives closer to launch that will go into more detail about skill-based passing and what can unlock in the passing game. Okay, so basically they just try to make it easier for you to understand it, which is good because I mean, I understand it. It's just, I don't know how much I really like it, to be honest. All right, so they got franchise feedback. We're not going to read that. Face of the year. Yeah, we don't care about all that. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Overall, what do I think about this? To be honest, it's not bad. I mean, the only thing, like, honestly, only thing I would say I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about is the whole wide receiver mossing people, because they're saying it's on a little or mismatch, but you gotta understand they're gonna probably take the easy route and just make it to where they're gonna moss even if the guy's an inch taller than him, like he's gonna have like a crazy boost to moss the shit out of him. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. Hopefully it's not like that, because One thing I wish I did see in here, one thing I didn't see in here was when you click on your receiver to try to catch the ball, I feel like Madden 22, the swerve was really good, how you could try to go catch the ball. I feel like it was perfect, to be honest, because that took skill to do that. It really did take skill to click on and you know, make that tough catch. Like that took skill. I feel like it's there in 23, but it's not the same, and I don't feel like it was as smooth or as good. And maybe it comes down to, like, you know, some of these players being low overalls, and, you know, maybe they're changing direction and things of that nature are really low, so maybe that's a factor, but I don't think it does. I think truly it's just not as good, which kind of sucks, but we'll have to wait and see. Overall, I like, the biggest thing I took away from it was they said they want to keep the gameplay the same how it was in the beta, which is good, because that's how it should be. And if that's the case, it's going to be a good year for Madden, especially if there's no power-ups in the game. If you guys, you know, been hearing a big thing, might not be power-ups and stuff. So, but it's weird because in the beta, you know, there was training, because obviously, you know, it costs training to put abilities on, so there was training in the beta. So I don't know, we're gonna have to wait and see, but that's pretty much gonna do it though, boys. Like, comment, subscribe, man, and your boy is out.